Hello. I've noticed a lot of people talking about getting all the achievements or trophies in video games, documenting their experience in the process. I've always liked hunting for achievements in my games, so today I'll just go ahead and just talk about the 25 games on Steam I have 100%ed so far. The ordering of them doesn't really matter. I just group similar games together, like clickers together, visual novels together, all that stuff. And also, I will not be mentioning any achievements you get from just playing the story, because those are just kind of self-explanatory, So anyway, let's just jump right into it. First off on this list is a really embarrassing entry: the 3 achievement clicker games. I got these a really long time ago, back when I was really young, and there's not really a way to permanently remove paid games from your account, so these are just on here forever, I guess. Next on this list is Loading Screen Simulator. It's just a clicker game. There's really not much about this one other than just natural progression. There is one achievement for getting 100 points in this one Pong mini game where the bar moves really slow. It's pretty hard, but that's really the only thing about this one. One more thing, there's also an achievement you need an auto clicker for, so you need to download one of those in order to get all the achievements. You have that one game, Adventure Capitalist, you probably played it in middle school or something. Well, it's on Steam, it has achievements for some reason, and getting all of them was a freaking pain. It wasn't hard, but it's just really time consuming. It took me 70 hours of just leaving the game open. This next game, Sell the Singularity, is another clicker game, just like Adventure Capitalist and Loading Screen Simulator, but it's just a lot better than the both of those. It still takes a lot of time to get all the achievements, but it has different things like secrets, and just overall a much better clicker idle game than the others. I also played the first 2 chapters of the Higurashi series, which are all separate games, and they're only visual novels, so just story achievements. Nekopara is a visual novel as well. The only weird thing about this game is that there's achievements for changing the language to Chinese and Japanese, which are probably some of the weirdest achievements on all my games. This next one Shot, is my favorite game of all time, and it's also very easy to 100%. Really the only things of note are trading all of your items to a merchant at one point of the game and completing this one mini game in one shot. Abzu is a swimming game. There's just some collectibles. That's it. It's a really pretty game though. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion is a very great premise, and it's also very easy to get all the achievements. There's really only 2 that stand out much. There's an achievement for getting all of the hats in the game, in the base game. There's other hats that you get from the mail that aren't counted in that, but that one's kind of difficult to get all of them. And then there's also this other achievement that's RNG based, and it's in a mini game, so it just takes a few attempts to get that one. Marfusha, in terms of its achievements, is a little bit weird. In order to get all of them, you need to find all of the guns and characters, both of which are RNG based, but the whole game is RNG based, so with enough runs you'll be able to get them all. But each of the different characters have different endings, and you don't need to complete the game with the characters to get the endings. You just need to obtain the characters, and that's it. So it's a bit of a weird one. It's easy to 100%, but you don't need to complete runs with the characters, just obtain them. Opus number 1, The Day We Found Earth, is a really simple game. Most of the achievements are story-based, but there is one group of achievements that's just very infuriating. The entire game revolves around scanning star systems in order to find Earth, because humanity lost it. And by the time you just finish the main story, you scanned about 150 of the stars. That's just to complete it. There's one achievement for scanning 1,000 stars. It only takes like an hour and a half to get the rest, but it is just mind-numbing. It only takes like 2 button presses to scan a star, and it's just like a lot of just doing nothing. It's really infuriating and really boring to do that. The second Opus game, Rocket of Whispers, it's a lot more enjoyable. It's 100% than the first. During just the main story, I did manage to get all the achievements on like my first playthrough, which was really nice. There are a few collectible based achievements, but you just get those naturally from playing. Snaky Bus is like an arcade game, so the only achievements are unlocking all the buses and maps, and there's a few that are just getting a decently high score. For the unlock, some of them take a little bit of grinding, but the game's really fun, so it's really not that much of an issue. It's a really good one. Slipstream is like a pixelated racing game, and the hardest achievement in the game by far, other than Perfectionist 3, which is to get all the other achievements, is Perfectionist 1. There's a race type in the game called Arcade, where you race on one track, and you get to choose one of 2 tracks to do next. It continues in that pattern a few more times. In the end, it looks like this. It should be shown an image of like a drawn pyramid or something. And in order to get this achievement, you need to take every single exit and defeat every single rival. One appears on each track on all runs. And so it really only takes like 5 perfect runs to do. I did not know that on the first time I tried to get this. I thought you needed to take every single route possible. So like going through right, and then right, left, and then right, left, stuff like that. And take every single route possible while beating every single rival along the way. I believe I did all the math on that, and it came out to be about 25 perfect runs. And by the time I finished that, I realized I already had the achievement for such a long time. So it's really not that bad, but I just made it so much harder on myself. And if you were wondering, Perfectionist 2 is just 100%ing like the main mode. So that one's a lot easier to get than Perfectionist 1 or 3. Minute is really fun. You play the game in like 1 minute intervals, with the world changing according to what you do within like that minute. The hardest achievement is probably completing the whole game. It's not really that long, but completing the whole game in 25 runs, which definitely takes some planning and a few playthroughs to know what to do. It's not really that hard. I'm pretty sure a perfect flawless run will only take you like 19 runs. So it is pretty lenient, but still takes a little bit of practice and planning. Reventure is a little bit similar to Minute, only without the minute timer. In that the runs are pretty short and they have like a lasting impact on like the world at large. The whole point of the game is to get all 100 endings, and that's why the runs are so short to get them all. Lots of these endings are pretty difficult to get, requiring like really specific things to happen in specific orders. Also, each ending gets you like 1 achievement, so there's 101 endings in like the whole thing. In order to get the 100th ending, you need to get all 99 before it, and then in order to get like the true ending, which is ending 101, you need to get the 100th first. The hardest part of the game easily is a platforming section and a puzzle section that are both based on the game's physics. This game was definitely not designed for platforming, and the physics is a little broken at times. So in that part, you really just need to get lucky. And the good part about that is you only need to do that for like 2 runs. So you only need to do it 2 times, and that's it. That's probably the best part about it. Intralism is a rhythm game, so many of the achievements just come from doing the really short campaign, but for some reason they have some achievements based on the multiplayer. There is not a single person who plays this game's multiplayer, I swear, so I had to resort to going to the Steam forums and posting on it, asking if someone would help me. I got pretty lucky and I got someone to help me with them, so I helped them, they helped me, we both got the achievements together, but that is probably the worst part about this one. This next one, Neon Beats, is like if Geometry Dash was a platformer, so basically just Geometry Dash 2.2. I honestly really like this game, and some of the achievements are really fucking brutal. There's achievements for clearing every stage with collectibles, clearing every stage with no damage, and clearing every stage fast. All of these separately are no issue at all, but on the very last DLC level, there's an achievement for completing the level fast, with no damage, and with all collectibles. It does not help that it's a very hard level in the first place, and it's the longest level in the game. I think it took me a few hours of practice to get this one. The only other things to note are some secrets, which really just come easy with some exploration. Next is this game called Carry On, which you play as a fleshy mass of meat and try to escape like this laboratory and facility. The only achievements are story-based and collectible-based, so you really only need to do some extra exploring in order to get everything. I'm sure you've seen this one, Vampire Survivors. It's constantly getting updates with new achievements, so I'm not really gonna talk about it much, other than I have all of them right now, and as the game gets more updates, I'll be getting the achievements that come with those. Next up is Slime Rancher. A lot of the achievements are very easy to get in the main mode, but there are 3 achievements for getting a certain amount of money in the rush mode. The rush mode, you only get 3 days to play the game, and the more gold you get, the higher your score. Getting the last achievement in this mode took me a few attempts to get. I do recommend looking up a route and just general strategies on how to do it. And there's also like bounties you can complete to get some extra time. That definitely saved me in like my last attempt. Last game here is Just Cause 3. It's another one of my favorite games. It's also the only game on this list that's like a normal AAA title. Easily the hardest achievement in this game is getting 5 gears or doing perfectly on every single challenge, which there are probably well over 100 of in the game. A lot of them are pretty doable, but some of them, specifically some of the wingsuit ones, even more specifically the Sky Fortress DLC wingsuit challenges and the bomb challenges, are really difficult. It also doesn't help that some of the bomb challenges are bugged, where the bomb will not explode properly, so you won't get any points for it, and there's also some invisible walls that will also not let you destroy anything. There are also some achievements based on feats, which are mini challenges that just kind of happen in the open world, like falling as far as you can without dying, or wingsuiting the longest you can. You need to, in order to do these achievements, you need to challenge someone else that beat one of your feats, and beat a feat that someone else challenged you on. Fortunately, I already had a friend who had this game, and I just asked them to do this with me real quick. But for someone who does not have this game, I recommend just going to the forums and asking someone. It's really not that hard. Well, that's everything. I apologize for this video not being that good. If this video does good, which meaning if it gets over like 100 views, I'll probably continue this and document all the other games I get 100% in the future. I'm currently working on getting all the achievements for Scourgebringer, and holy hell is that game hard. When I complete it, it will easily be the hardest game on my 100% list when I complete it. This is also like my first scripted video. I have the script right in front of me, and I'm just like ad-libbing some of the parts. This is also the video I put the most effort in. So if I make any more of these, please expect the future videos to be much higher quality than this one. I'm recording this audio on my phone right in front of me, and I don't have a proper microphone and everything. If you did like this, just comment, say you liked it or something. Like the video too. I don't care if you subscribe. See ya.